Apparently, if I create, I must have a message. One ought to have a message, but I don't have one. Apparently, we're meant to know where we're going, what we're doing in this life. But who asked us to know? I don't have a message. I don't have a plan. And so through this life, I continue going blindly, naively, like a fool, a foil to life and life's plans perhaps. Was I meant for something so-called higher? I don't know. But this is life, and life gave us free will apparently. And so through it, cluelessly, through this void I venture, trying my very hardest to be the one thing I can be, myself. Sometimes, in fact oftentimes, I do not want to give these images, these videos, these journeys, any text, any words. But apparently that would be boring. Not to say that this isn't already boring. I might have a vision, a plan, but then suddenly I hate it. I seek to burn it at the very last moment, for all of it to dissipate into a forgetting sea, for the shore to be swept clean and virgin again, something like a new day and a new page. I go on these little voyages, these little journeys, often. Voyages of the soul, voyages to nowhere, but yet nowhere is always somewhere. Somewhere to find my soul again, though all this time it's always been within me. And what to do with this realization, that everywhere we go and everywhere we venture, all in hopes to find ourselves, we've already found ourselves in simply breathing, simply being. So what more are you seeking for, if not to distract yourself from this very fact? And I write this not for anyone except myself really, though I will look back on it perhaps once or twice more in this lifetime. I think of the day that I will no longer be, and for some weird reason I smile. I am merely a shore to the sea of life and to all of its creations, one of which is me. I do not want to be known, nor to be sought, nor to seek to put out a message into this world, nor to leave any ounce or trace, whisper or remnant of myself, or some corrupted legacy behind. I love that life erases and forgets us, though somehow it never does. I know what I write is a constant contradiction, but I like it like that. When has life ever been anything but that? Anything equivalent to stable? Nights struggle to fade into one another these days. I struggle to fall asleep in the dreams that I encounter, and that some part deep within me conjures up doesn't help either. The dreams seem bizarre, twisted, ugly images of unknown people I've met once or twice in my life, but some more distorted version of them. I want to lay into the realm of sleep lightly, excited almost, a bit like when I was a child, to see what the dream world offers me this time round. Instead, I go into it begging for a better vision, something illuminating to a world that I try to embody and be. I've never known anything greater than honesty. Not that anyone asks me of it either. It's just my constant nature. I was never taught to lie, a lost childish habit. So now I sit in the only thing I know, the only thing I remember, truth. Or rather, that which I convince myself of being the truth. My feelings that when I put into words, they create worlds of complexity and complication that again, no one asked for, not even me. And so in it I sit. I try to hold space for it, without it consuming me. Sometimes it's hard. There's something deep within me that reminds me that I am none of these things in this world. That nothing in this world could ever come close to defining me, or any of us. Brings me closer to the feeling of home that I seem to search for in these dreams, in this world, in these voyages. Honestly speaking, I came here to write, for this page to hear my thoughts, bear my burdens. But each time I sit before the page, nothing, nowhere. But yet, nowhere is always somewhere. A rainy day and an empty page. An empty mind with no ideas, no thoughts, no striving, no searching, no waiting. Alone and hidden away from that which we call the world, I sit patiently as if waiting for someone or something to induce movement, and the hurrying, agitated nature of being human. I sip on the tea slowly, hoping the smaller the sip, the less the bitterness will paralyze me. I didn't know something as innocent as jasmine could turn so bitter, so frail. Decay and lingering does that sometimes. With each sip, naive, I twist and turn. I can't hide that I waited too long, and now bitter is my soul. A bitterness that I can't take back or reverse, perhaps only dilute. The bitterness of adulthood, the bitterness of lost hope in run down dreams. The bitterness of knowing that they can come true, not that they must. The bitterness lingers still, and each time a deep sigh, a breath in, and I go again. In impermanence I find safety. I search for it sometimes. Truly I prefer it that way, stripped of all, an empty vessel, naked of importance and meaning, that which we clothe, robe, and mystify ourselves in. And then it seeps in again, the thought of when my next step is, where, how, what, how to define myself in this world, how to become an easy answer to the question, what do you do? Essentially, what do you make of yourself in this world? Apparently, nothing as an answer does not suffice. I seem to keep waiting for that which we call a miracle, some idea, some revelation, to land into my arms, not necessarily my spirit. I have not yet allowed myself to feel that I have enough faith in my spirit to guide me there, to hear it and to trust it enough to take the plunge, but to guide me where I do not know. Is there a right way to live? I've been negotiating with sleep, with life, all of it to give me something, offer me something more. Since when was I like this? Asking for signs at every corner, every junction, that never seemed to come. Instead of taking confidence and pride in each step, I've gathered the remnants of the belief I should be put and kept in a frame, gathered from my bones and blew them to the wind. I have shed all that I seemingly once believed I needed. I wonder how I will be when I come back home. What will I do? And yet I fear home. I fear coming home. I always have. Not for the fact that someone awaits me, nothing and no one threatening, but the fact that nothing awaits me. And I have to somehow greet it fondly and not dismiss it with resentment. How can I? It's not that it robs me of anything, not that it demands of me anything either. It doesn't give me much either, and I don't need it to. It's more that I have so much resentment for it, and I don't even know why. I don't know what I'm writing now because it isn't me. I feel a ghost to my body in these moments, and I both love and despise it. I don't know what I'm doing all this for. All the childhood memories of boredom and gloom replaced by amnesia because I was erased and eroded to imagination. The world that isn't here because I didn't and couldn't stand the world before me, before my eyes. Especially the one of the void, captured, tamed, framed and kept safely in the frames of a home. I've had this feeling since I was a child, a dread towards home. And even now, I roam cities, alleys and streets, begging them to call to me, so that I don't have to make my way back against my heart towards the home. The home I belong to and melt into are those that are not my own, places of short-lived visit, clean of memories or expectations. Is it the home or boredom, the void, that haunts me the most? I thought we were through this. At times it crosses my mind what this world would be once we are no longer. The strange things that we've created, the trash, the art, the buildings, the systems, but completely stripped of humans as beings, as if they're vanished, not dead, just vanished. As clean of a slate as the beach shore is to water, washed away. How bizarre. A museum in itself, the world would be. Part story. The idea of history is only a human idea. All it is would be matter, and only our mind and illusions, imaginations would find in matter something more. Both the power and the demise, the creation and the death. There is no decay, only constant movement. These picture frames and clothing, shapes forming words, and words forming worlds, and somehow a world was never enough for them. I sometimes wonder, a presence such as an alien arriving here on this land, with us not here, and trying to make sense of it all, this conundrum, this dissonance, cascade of emotions, a clatter of matter. The words and the never enough, would they feel it? Would they reach for it too? The constant reaching, the constant seeking, searching. Something about this beautiful void they cannot see. They fear the void and don't let themselves become it. A walking story they believe themselves to be, and stories fill the void. These strange creations, expressions, the void is always watching, the only breath, the only presence. The void only speaks in silence. And I've been silent for a while, and now crave never to speak again. For what? I could just sit here for many hours more, in this gallery, wondering people, wondering eyes, wondering minds, wondering hours, in this gallery of life.